Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to the temple and to Eli's Bar Mitzvah. We're also excited. We're going to begin our service as we sing together, Hinei Matov Umanaim, how good and how pleasant it is to be here together to celebrate Shabbat and the joyous occasion of Eli becoming a Bar Mitzvah. If you don't know the words, they're also on page 340 in the prayer books. If you don't have a prayer book, there should be also in the aisles, or there are some also outside. I'd like to invite Sissy and Mark to join Eli as they bring the talit, the pershul, for him, and Eli to say your first part, which is on page 171.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who halls us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
And we turn now to page 172 to sing together Matovu. Please, you are now the leader of the service officially.
Turn to the bottom of page 178. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who halls us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Adonai our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us, and the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of Torah, to our people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai hamelamed Torah l'Amo Yisrael. Elu divarim she'en lachem shi'ur. These are things that are limitless, which a person enjoys the fruit of the world. While the principle remains in the world to come, they are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Please rise and turn to page 195. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or urei choshech, asher shalom urei et hakol, ha'me'ir la'aretz v'la'adarim alecha brachamim, uvtuvo mecharesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chokhmah asita ma'al ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yedecha, ve'al merei or shasita yifarecha sela, or hadash al Sion ta'ir, v'nizkachu elanu meheir al orot. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'orot. Please join me. The world is sunlight, rejoicing the soul, rejoicing the heart, bring light to the eyes. More welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'orot. Turn to page 199. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. We gratefully recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-bocher ba'amo Yisrael b'ahavta. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Baruch Hashem kivod malchutei le'olam va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto le'olam va'ed.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol lavcha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol me'adecha, v'hayu haravarim ha'elech, asher anochi mitzarcha chayom al levavecha, v'shinamtam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha v'etecha, u'v'leftecha v'adark, v'shoppecha v'kemecha, u'kshertam le'ot ayadecha, v'hayu le'tetefot beinenecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot be'etecha v'sharecha, antis karu v'asitem et kol mitotai, v'tem krashim alehem, Ani Adonai Elohim, asher hotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim l'chilot lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohim.
And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, shall be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God.
to page 203 as we read together. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Mi chamocha ba'ilim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, norot le'ilot oseh v'aleh. Shira chadasha שיבחו גאולים לשמחו על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני
Please rise and turn to page 205 for the Tefilah.
Adonai sifatai tivta ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Adonai siftai tifta ifi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elokei Avotenu v'Imatenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanarach, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol v'Zoher Astei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevigu La Livnei V'Nehem, Lam'ad Shmo B'Chava, Melech Ezer U'Mashiach Magain, Baruch atah Adonai, Magain Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives, their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being, give us the courage to search for truth, teach us a path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer the world we envision, one of peace, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Magain Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. We read together. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher, encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your doors, stretching up to honor your name. Sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותך בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא צל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר קדושתך נקדיש, בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated.
turn now to page 216 for the blessing for shalom, for wellness and wholeness and peace. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha.
We all need healing and strength and courage in our lives. The Misha Berach, the prayer for courage and strength and healing for us, for everyone that we care about, can be found on page 253. Turn now to Seder Kriyat Torah, the order of reading from the Torah on Shabbat, on page 244. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great. Holy is God's name.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai,
now at the prayer for becoming a bar mitzvah.
Our God and God of our ancestors, I stand before the sacred assembly, proclaiming that I choose to be a part of the people of Israel, a part of its heritage and its faith, bound by its commandments. Give me strength to follow your path and to become a source of pride to my family, my community, and my people. How greatly we are blessed, how good is our portion, how pleasant our lot, and how beautiful our heritage. Blessed are we when we sanctify your name and declare, Shema and V'ahavta.
And I would like to invite Eli's family to join him for the aliyot. And Eli, please unwrap the Torah. You want to make sure that the yad will stay. Can you see it's in the right place?
Yes.
I'm always worried, so
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe bo'et paro ki ani hichebarti et libo ve'lev avarav leman shiti ototai ele bekirbo uleman tesaper be'oznei binacha uven bicha et asher hitaloti b'Mitzrayim vet ototai asher samati v'amviratem ki ani Adonai. Vayavo Moshe v'Aharon el Paro u'mal'u elav kamar Adonai Elohei Hairim Amatam Yanata le'anot miplanach shalach ami v'yavduni.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ki ima ein atan l'shaleach et amikineni mevi machar arabah bigevulecha v'chisa et ein haaretz v'lo ukal lira'ot et haaretz ve'achal et yeter hapilatach hani sheret lachem min abarad v'achal equate hatameach lachem min asadeh Uma uvataka, uvate kvavdaka, uvate komitraim, asher laru, avataka, vavut, avataka, miyam, helta ala adama, ad hayom, haze vaifen, vatse mein paro.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Vayamru avdei Farao elav an matai yihya shalom l'mokei shalom et ha'anashim v'yavdu et Adonai Elohim hataram teda ki avdam Mitzrayim va'ushav emashev et Aaron el Paro v'amer Elohim lechu ivdu et Adonai Elohim ivami chachulahim Vamer Moshe b'nei Arenu v'izkenenu Neleach v'otzneinu v'yivnetenu v'otzneinu v'yivnekerenu Neleach ki hagadonai lanu.
And you can follow the English translation in the handouts that you have.
Then the Eternal said to Moses, Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his hearts and the hearts of his officials, so that I may perform these signs of mine among them, that you may tell your children and grandchildren how I dealt harshly with the Egyptians, and how I performed my signs among them, and that you may know that I am the Eternal. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, This is what the Eternal, the God of the Hebrews, says, How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will bring locusts into your country tomorrow. They will cover the face of the ground so that it cannot be seen. They will devour what little you have left after the hail, including every tree that is growing in your fields. They will fill your houses and those of all your officials and all of the Egyptians, something neither your parents nor your ancestors have ever seen, from the day they settled in this land till now. Then Moses turned and left Pharaoh. Pharaoh's officials said to him, How long will this man be ensnared to us? Let the people go so that they may worship the Eternal their God. Do you not yet realize that Egypt is ruined? Then Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. Go worship the Eternal your God, he said, but tell me, who will be going? Moses answered, We will go with our young and our old, with our sons and our daughters, with our flocks and our herds, because we are to celebrate a festival to the Eternal. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar bin v'im tovim v'tzav divrichem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai ha'bocher ba'Torah u'Moshe avdo v'Yisrael amo v'vivei ha'emet v'tzedek. Kartu yara ne'um Adonai ki lo ehaker ki rabu me'arabei ve'en lachem mispar hu'i Shabbat Mitzrayim nitna biad am safon Amar Adonai sfe'o el Yisrael hineni feket el amon mino ve'al Paro ve'al Mitzrayim ve'al elechecha ve'al malchecha ve'al Paro ve'al habatakin Nitatim b'yad mevkeshe nafsham uvyad Nebuchadnezzar melech Bavel uvyad avadav v'acharei chen dishkon kimei kedem ne'um Adonai ve'ata al tira of Yaakov ve'al tzechat Yisrael ki hineni Mashiach merhuk ve'etzar acham me'er chivyam b'shav Yaakov v'shkat v'shanan macharid ata al tira of Yaakov ne'um Adonai ki chani ki asachalav v'chol hagoyim Asher hidacheticha Shema v'otecha lo esechala v'yisareticha lo mishapat v'nakei lo anakecha.
And you can follow the translation in the handout.
They will chop down her forest, declares the Eternal. Then so it be. They are more numerous than locusts, they cannot be counted. Daughter of Egypt will be put to shame, given into the hands of the people of the north. The Almighty, the God of Israel, says, I am about to bring punishment on Ammon, god of Thebes, on Pharaoh, on Egypt, and her gods and her kings. And on those who rely on Pharaoh, I will give them into the hands of those who want to kill them. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and his officers. Later, however, Egypt will be inhabited as in past times, declares the Eternal. Do not be afraid, Jacob, my servant. Do not be dismayed, Israel. I will surely save you out of a distant place. Your descendants from the land of their exile, Jacob will again have peace and security, and no one will make him afraid. Do not be afraid, Jacob, my servant. For I am with you, declares the Eternal. If I completely destroy all the nations among I scatter you, I will not completely destroy you. I will discipline you, but only in due measure. I will not let you go entirely unpunished. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol ha'olamim sadiq b'chol hadarot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'oseh, ha'medaber kayem, shekol devorah emet v'atek, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh. Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'linucha l'chavod l'tifaret, al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach me'avarchim etach yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. And now your speech.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to everyone who's watching online and everyone who is coming in person. I'm glad that you could all share this moment with me. I'm eager to make this transition from a boy to a teenager. My Torah portion is about Moses telling Pharaoh to let the Jews go, and if Pharaoh doesn't, God will bring locusts down. Pharaoh says no to Moses, and God brings down the locusts. Pharaoh then tells Moses and Aaron to come back, and Pharaoh asks them, "Who are you going to take with you if we let you go?" Moses says everyone, and Pharaoh says no. And this causes more plagues to occur. I think that the lesson that is learned from my portion is that you shouldn't only think about yourself, and that you should humble yourself, and if you don't do something that is told by a superior, there will be consequences. This connects to today's government because now you have the freedom to worship your religion, but back when Pharaoh ruled, he wouldn't let the Jews worship God. To me, my bar mitzvah is the next step in my life, and I am excited to see what the rest of my life will be like. This is also the first time a whole event has been completely centered around me. First, I want to thank my parents for guiding me through this journey to a bar mitzvah, but I also wouldn't have got to where I am without my teachers, Rabbi David and Rabbi Rapport. I want to say thank you to my brother for being a role model for me, and I want to thank all of my family that is watching online. And I want to give, lastly, I want to thank Carly Schwartz for my personal tutor over the summer of 2020.
This is the time for the parents, yes?
Well, Eli, the first thing we want to say is Mazel Tov, and we want to say thanks to everybody who's here with us today and everybody who's with us in spirit and videographically and electronically, because they are here with us, which is amazing, and you're tremendously amazing. I want to congratulate you on doing something that is incredibly special, which is you've led our community in worship, and just like your sister and brother before you, and I guess myself, you're taking part in a great tradition, a Jewish tradition, and I know that Judaism is so important to you. You know, there's lots of ways to lead, and you're showing us today that you can lead in prayer, you can lead in mitzvot, and you can lead in kindness, and you can lead by example. And I think somebody recently said, if I heard it correctly on television, something like, you don't have to lead by the example of power, but by the power of your example. And understanding that you can lead without having that title and having all that power is an important lesson that you learn as you're growing up. And I salute you for that and showing us that. This has been a crazy year for our family, for all of your families, for the Temple family, and you've been incredibly brave throughout that year. You were the first person in the family to go back to school, which was a little scary for all of us. So we watched your bravery. You've been incredibly flexible with all the planning around all of these events that we've been trying to put together, and you've been devoted, and you've shown commitment to getting this done. And you've always done it with laughter and with a smile, and that just reminds us that as our third child, you were always a blessing. We never thought we would have a third child, and Cece will tell you that you're her blessing for sure. And so you've always been laughing and smiling since you were born. I think that's designed to remind us of that. I could be wrong about that. You know, the last thing I want to say to you is this is all true to your name. You know, you're Elijah, and Elijah was an incredible prophet, Elijah, people know Elijah from Passover, but Elijah was a very busy prophet. Elijah appears in the Torah many times, to my knowledge, and in the Midrash many, many times, doing lots of great work and great deeds. And that goes really well with you because you're incredibly busy and you're incredibly quick. Eli was the quickest child to be born on the day that he was born. Another story Cece will remind us that he was not waiting for us. He was on his way out the door, as they say. You're like Elijah in that you have built a community, and Elijah is not only present at Passover, but also present at the bris and when children are born. That's how community is built among the Jews. And in a very strange way, I really hope and feel like you're leading us in 2021 out of what, ironically, is a plague. And that's really the story of how Elijah went from house to house and rescued Jews from the plague that was descendant upon the Egyptians and led the Jews to freedom. And you're leading us in 2021, and that feels good and is befitting to you. You know, you've literally grown up before our very eyes. We're incredibly grateful for you and your spirit, and we're incredibly proud of everything that you've accomplished, and we're really excited to see all the things that happen next. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Eli, thank you. Thank you for leading us in service. Thank you for chanting from the Torah. And thank you for teaching us what you learned from your Torah. I'm going to follow your parents' example and make it easier for myself. I'm sorry, Jennifer. So I want to add something to what your dad just said to you. Your father mentioned that you're following the tradition of your siblings and of him. So I don't want to undermine their achievements, but your job was actually much harder. Everybody calls you Eli, to my knowledge, even though your full name is Elijah. So there's also an Eli in the Bible. There is not only Elijah. Eli is one of the heroes of King David that followed King David all the time and was extremely loyal and was extremely brave and courageous. And even in normal times, like your siblings and your dad, it's not easy to lead a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah. It's not easy at age 13 to lead the entire congregation, to be responsible. You know, they say that public speaking is really nerve-wracking. Jerry Seinfeld once told a joke. Do you know who Jerry Seinfeld is?
No.
Oh my God, now I really feel old. You seriously don't know who Jerry Seinfeld is? Okay, he's a Jewish comedian. So he talked about the fact that the number one fear of people is public speaking, which means that in a funeral they would rather be in the casket than to give the eulogy because it is so frightening to speak in public, and you just led the service beautifully. I mean, you really did it. And I don't know, maybe you're an actor also because you looked so calm. I don't remember someone looking so calm as they're doing. I thought about all the butterflies that I have when I'm standing here, and you looked like it's nothing for you. And I want to stress that point because Eli worked very hard to get to that point. We have here a friend of yours, Isabella, that also had to work really hard doing COVID-19 in order to lead it. It's not an easy thing, not at all. And to do it online on top of things, and to do it with all the craziness around you, that is really a tremendous job. And I know you worked very hard. You are every Sunday and every Wednesday at our Hebrew school, and I'm sure that your family also made you practice time and again. And hopefully what you've learned from that is that when we have an important mission to achieve, if we take our time and work hard and build our preparation stage by stage, we can achieve almost anything we want and at least appear as calm as you did today, which is just great. And I want to add to what your dad said, that I look forward to your many coming achievements, and hopefully you'll do everything and at least appear to be that calm when you overcome obstacles that we have in life. And I want to say something else, because I'm about to continue a tradition that was done also in your siblings' bat and bar mitzvah, I'm sure also in your dad's. And we usually say the priestly benediction to the bat or the bar mitzvah. This is a tradition that goes back to Moses and Aaron. God is telling them to bless the children of Israel with that blessing. And we usually combine it with another blessing. Before the priestly benediction, we normally use the benediction that our third father, our third ancestor, Jacob, we're named the children of Jacob or the children of Israel, both are his names, we're named after him. When he blesses his grandchildren, he says to them, may you be like Ephraim and Menashe. And I'm going to say that to you, but it would sound not what actually Jacob wants to say. Jacob is talking to two grandchildren, and their name are Ephraim and Menashe. So when I say to you, may you be like Ephraim and Menashe, it sounds like I'm hoping that you will be as good as they are. But what it really means, and what Jacob really said to his grandchildren, may you be true to yourself. May you be true to who you are. So what I really want to tell you, and I'm telling you that in advance that you'll know that, is may you be Eli. May you grow to be Eli, Elijah, and be true to what you really are. Because from the little I know you, and I didn't have the pleasure of having you in person in a class like I had your brother and your sister. Your sister I keep having, she keeps coming, but now it's virtual. So hopefully we will get to go back to be in person. So from knowing you just from seeing your face, and sometimes not even that, just a black rubric that says Eli or Elijah, I don't really know you, but from the little I do, you seem that there is a lot in you, and a lot of kindness, and a deep, wonderful person. So my real hope for you, before I say the priestly benediction, is that you won't grow up to be like Ephraim and Menashe, but you grow up to be Eli, to be what you really are, and to always be true to the essence of who you are. So I'm going to say to you the priestly benediction, which goes like that. Yesimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim u'chemenashe. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe, and I mean, may God make you Eli. Yevarchecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God always guard you and bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha ve'yechuneka. May God's face always shine towards you, and may God always deal graciously with you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May you always feel the presence of God in your life, in your midst, and may you always be granted by God shalom, peace and wellness and wholeness. And let's say together, Amen. And I don't want to forget, and I don't want you to forget, right here beneath the pulpit, on your left side, there are gifts for you, because a bar mitzvah is also with gifts. So we have all kinds of reminders of what being a Jewish adult is about. We have a tzedakah box, and we have the full Bible. There's no test on it this Sunday, but hopefully it will serve you during your lifetime. And then we have all kinds of certificates. Among them a certificate, you mentioned your brother. I know that your brother went to Israel with Nifty, so that would give you a very small discount on your Israel trip with Nifty that I hope that you will get to go as well. And Jennifer wants to sing for you, Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimrama, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimiru amen. Oseh Shalom bimrama, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh Shalom bimrama, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimiru amen. Oseh Shalom bimrama, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. V'yimru amen.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Marian Morgulan, John A. D'Angelo, William J. Simon, Joseph Ornstein, Lawrence Cook, Lawrence Herman, C. Fisher, Sarah Feitelson, Miguel Dresser, Fred Kagan, Nina Bailin, Robert LaSalle, Glenn Harry Gelfenbein, Nadav Ariel-Joel, Lorraine Marcourt, Alice Lyons, David N. Stifler, Bernard I. Siegel, Julie Benjamin, Betty Haskell, Sylvia Kanter, Lillian Seligman, Ida Lippi, Zeldon Lipsky, Lothar Marx, Dennis Fine, Lina Uslander, Edith Seligman, H. Lorraine Wartenberg, Iris Caviar, Rosa L. Hildebrand, Louis Beiser, Hyman Weiser, Arnie Friedman, Mildred Glovenger, Benjamin Weiskopf, Esther Sarason, Louis Sarason, Carmen Niedelman, Pauline Grossman, Miriam Davis, Oscar Eddie Cantor, Lawrence S. Bloom, Jack Shapiro, William Frentz, Catherine Rodman, Irvin Bruchot, Harold Rowe, Monroe Schechter, Miriam Lyon Greenbaum, Louis Flam, Norma Jean Seidman, Louise Barkus, Olga Rosenberg, Anna Taylor, Ann R. Rosenbaum, Maurice C. Roberts, Flora Finkelstein, Howard Grossman, Lucille Frank. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. And with the blessed memories from our loved ones in our hearts, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, בחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה, may the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction in our lives. Our closing song is Od Yavo Shalom. We ask God to bring peace and wholeness to all humanity.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mazal Tov to you, Eli. You did a wonderful job. You should be very proud of yourself. And I can see in the eyes, which is the only part I can see, of your family, how proud they are of you. May you continue to go from strength to strength. And may we all enjoy a Shabbat of Shalom. Shalom to our bodies, to our minds, and to our souls. Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel tov.